Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Step to Self-Help, using self-help resources for managing mild to moderate mental health difficulties. And this is Managing Anxiety session number 3. I hope you have seen session number 1 and 2. In session number 1, we covered basics, introduction, how to assess symptoms of anxiety, and also understanding impact of anxiety. In session number 2, we talked about worry management as an intervention. How do we create a worry journal and why do we keep worrying? So now I hope you have completed your 10-day worry journal and you have been able to identify between practical and hypothetical worries. In this session, we will cover hypothetical worry management. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide, which is worry time. Now, separating hypothetical and practical worries, I hope you've done that. We will now focus on worry time. Okay, worry time is a way to manage hypothetical worries. If this is not relevant, then we can move on to problem solving. If you feel that your anxiety and your worry is not hypothetical, then you can skip this session and move on to the practical problem solving session, which is the next one, session number 4. In today's session, we will understand potential areas and causes of hypothetical worry. So exactly where do these worries come from? Why do we experience these hypothetical worries? And the second thing is managing hypothetical worries using worry time. So we will learn about scheduling worry time. And third thing is how do we reflect with these worries? So how do we understand in a bit more detail about each of these worries that we have? And then some refocusing techniques, which is coming back to the present moment after doing all this worry time. Okay. Now, hypothetical worries may come from your cognitive distortions, cognitive biases, which are unhelpful thinking styles. So catastrophizing, which is assuming worst will happen. Fortune telling bias, which is a which is a type of cognitive error, like believing that you can predict negative outcomes. Then overestimating risk is another type of unhelpful thinking style, which makes you think that unlikely events are more probable than they are. It is safe to assume that worries are types of unhelpful or negative thoughts. Think about this. And other sources of hypothetical worries are, intolerance of uncertainty. Some people find not knowing very uncomfortable. So uncertainty feels very distressing. And a hypothetical worry is the mind's attempt to create certainty where none exists. Okay, so in a situation that's uncertain, you don't know what's going to happen, but your mind is constantly trying to find solutions that, okay, can I gain some control? If I can do this, can I gain some control if I can do that? So you're busy problem solving. But there still is some sort of uncertainty related to a situation that you're worried about, and you have no sense of control over that part of that worry. So we need to understand, that by working that hard, you're not eliminating this uncertainty. We're just kind of creating more and more distress. And now social media can also lead to these hypothetical worries, and you see something on Instagram or newsfeed or Facebook or the BBC somewhere, you see a news and you feel really worried. And then your mind starts to create these hypothetical worries about yourself, your loved ones, etc. And the other way is that, someone close share their negative experience or unhelpful experience about a situation. So you start worrying about a situation, what would you do, what would you do in a situation that will lead to a hypothetical worry. Then maybe you have experienced something similar in the past. Yeah. Well, these are some potential reasons why we could be experiencing these hypothetical worries, but they can be many different reasons. Okay. Um, Now these are different themes. Hypothetical worries can be about your health concerns that what if I develop a serious illness? So this worry can lead to excessive health monitoring and anxiety about minor symptoms. Then worries about accident and safety. What if I get into a car accident? This type of worry can cause individuals to avoid driving or feel anxious while on the road. Then there is job security. Even though everything is stable, everything in your job and in your career might be fine, but you're just constantly worried about losing your job. Then there is financial anxiety, which is, what if I cannot pay my bills? Even if there is a stable income, some people constantly worry about their financial future. The next theme is social situations. What if I embarrass myself at a party? But this worry can prevent people from attending social events, leading to isolation. Now, future events, just said catastrophic thinking. So, what if I fail my upcoming exam? Just an example, this worry can lead to procrastination or excessive studying, impact overall well-being. And then the next theme is family safety. What if something happens to my children? The parents often worry about their children's safety, even in safe environments. To see the idea of putting this together is to give you some sort of understanding that these are different themes that you could experience hypothetical worries in similar or same areas. Now, worry time is a scheduled time, a set time to reflect with our hypothetical worries. Okay? And there is a way to do this. So we need to set some time aside in the day so that we can actually sit and question with these worries and do some fact finding. So the first step is select a time and space to reflect with your hypothetical worries. I wouldn't recommend prior to bed. Anything before 7 p.m. is fine. And the space, maybe in our bedroom, is not the right place to do this. Any other space but bedroom. So dedicate a time and space, and also like a bit of a time slot. How much time are you realistically able to devote with your worry journal? And do this every day. You can do this twice a week, thrice a week. It's up to you whenever you have the opportunity. The second step is going through each of your hypothetical worries. Now, this is, I'm assuming you have separated your hypothetical worries from practical at this point. So you're only focusing on your hypothetical worries now, okay? Okay, so the third step is refocusing on the present moment. Now, can you prevent some part of this worry? Like, if there is anything that you could do to prevent this hypothetical worry from coming true, would you do that? Of course you will do that because you want more control over the situation. To do that using problem solving, okay? Which we will discuss in the next session. And this is a refocusing technique. So after your worry time, that's 15 to 20 minutes that you've spent worrying and questioning your worries and fact finding and consolidating your outcomes. You want to come back from that time to the present moment mindfully using many refocusing techniques. I've just added 3 here. So the first technique is to look at what you were doing before you were doing the worry time. But just go back to the task, such as, you were doing some cleaning. Go back to that cleaning. If you were doing some cooking, go back to cooking. If it was scrolling on your phone, just do that. Okay, so that's refocusing. Second thing is grounding rituals. Grounding ritual is everything that I explained in the previous slide. We could ground just by taking some deep breaths in, taking calmness in, exhaling anxiety out, and 5 deep breaths, mindfully taking calmness in and exhaling anxiety out can do the grounding for us, unless you already have some effective grounding techniques for yourself. And then step 3 is distraction. Distraction is, it can be any of your music. They can play your video game or speaking to somebody or playing with your children. Distract yourself. Do something different. Do something fun. Now, what do we do about these catastrophic worries? Let's just do some fact-forming things. If you feel that most of your hypothetical worries are catastrophic in nature, yeah, then do some fact-finding. That am I really going to end up in the situation that I'm catastrophizing about? What are the chances? And then think about what could be the possible reasons for your negative interpretation of the situation. Okay. And then practice some self-compassion. It's quite distressing if you are worrying about future, with catastrophizing outcomes. What will happen to my son? He's driving on the motorway, or he's gone for bungee jumping. It's going to happen to him. She's gone for the holiday, my daughter, for the first time. It's going to happen to her. You have these images of plane crashing and skydive, people collapsing in skydive. So much distress. I mean, why are you thinking like this? State some possible reasons, and then just practice some compassion, because we don't deserve this type of distress for no reason. Okay? So the more fact finding you can do, the more control you will feel in reality. Okay? Because most of the catastrophic worries are due to the cognitive error, cognitive distortion of catastrophic thinking. It's an unhelpful thinking style, the cognitive error. Okay? Tolerating uncertainty. If your worry is about, like a situation where everything seems uncertain and you don't know what's going to happen, then think about how many times have you been in uncertain situations in the past. And believe me, you're going to find some wonderful evidence that you've been in such situations so many times, and you've actually dealt with those situations. How did you cope with that? So maybe you could think about some coping mechanisms. Now, what have you learned from this? And what does it mean for you when you keep on stressing about an uncertain situation? What have you learned from the past? Is it worth it? And are there any other areas in your life that gives you a sense of control? So yes, maybe things might be uncertain in one area of life, but maybe there are other areas of life that will give you a sense of control. Like, for example, maybe my career is quite up and down at the moment, and I don't know if my next promotion will go ahead or not, and I'm quite worried about that. It is an uncertain situation, but can I focus on something that is in my control? Can I focus on my health? Can I, exercise more regularly? That will give me more control over my physical health. Think in that way. It just makes that distress a little bit more tolerable, you know. Now, value-based distraction, what we can do when we are struggling with um, these uncertain situations is think about what your life values are. Like, do you value family or relationship, and do you value career or health or personal growth, or whichever values you can resonate with? We can actually bring those value-based activities so that we can distract ourselves. And the benefit of using value-based activities is that you're more likely to retain them as your distraction strategies. Now, what the ultimate benefit of over time is having more time and energy to focus on other important areas of your life that were previously consumed with worries. This frees up mental space to be more present and engaged with those areas of life. Letting go of worries is very difficult, but self-compassion and mindfulness exercises can often help. There are many good online resources for accessing mindfulness classes and guided meditations on self-compassion, varieties about compassion exercises. So, if you are an overthinker, if your worries keep coming back again and again and again, especially hypothetical worries, I do recommend you scheduling worry time regularly in your week so that you can actually focus on those worries, question them, challenge them, and let go of them. And if you can do something about it, if you can prevent that from happening, then create an action plan to work on it. So yeah, once we have completed this step, we are now moving on to the next step, which is called problem solving. Okay? We'll see you in the next session. I hope you have enjoyed this and you may take something away from today's session. Take care.